Welcome to the Dogs Are the Best Friends podcast. I'm Emily, and my best buddy, Flynn, is here too. Happy October, folks. Do you know I've only been doing this podcast since mid-May, and the time has gone so fast, and I love bringing you these stories. I hope it cheers you up if your October started off a little rough, and if you're having a good October, then yay, just enjoy this story. It's about Andrea and her family rescuing little Bailey. And Bailey is a puppy. And if you've ever had a puppy, whoa, you know how much work they are. They're like a baby. They're just constant work. And so whenever people say they want a puppy, I cringe a little bit because I think about when I almost got a puppy just a couple of years ago, and I ended up getting Flynn, who was 1.5 years, still very puppyish. Actually, he's still puppyish now, and he's about to be 5 in December. And so I would encourage you that if you think a baby at this point in your life would be too much work, maybe look at a dog that's 1 year or a little bit older, just because the potty training and some of that other stuff can really not be fun. And I just want you to look at a little bit older dogs if you're willing to. It can't hurt. But Andrea shares sweet stories about her pup and the many lessons that they've learned. They've only had her, they got her at 11 weeks, and she's now almost 5 months. And please don't think I'm anti-puppy. It's just that I do know how much work they are. And I just would love you to consider all the alternatives because there's a lot of pups that need love. Be sure to listen to the very end when I am telling you about a giveaway that I have. And before I forget, I have another giveaway that we're wrapping up right now. It's the Aqua Dog, a picture book by our author that was on last week, Lisa van der Wielen, and she's from Australia. It's a good story, a little picture book that you could give to somebody that's 90 years old or somebody that's 2 years old, and it will be appreciated by all. If you'd like a chance at winning that beautiful picture book, be sure to just tag me on Facebook or Instagram. Dogs Are the Best Friends, and on Instagram it's Dogs Are the Best Friends with com at the end. All right, enjoy. So go ahead and share about little Bailey and tell us about her story, how she came into your life,
Yes, sure. So back this summer, we were looking for a rescue dog, and we started looking for a small dog just because our house isn't huge. And I just felt the need to have, a pet for my son and for the family. And we've never had one. So we started searching rescues, and we had a really hard time finding the small dog. So we kind of gave up on that. And then she kind of came along. A coworker of my husband's sent a photo of her, and oh my gosh, we fell in love. I said, I don't care if she sheds. I don't care if she's a big dog. She's gorgeous. She's our dog. Aww. So we saw the photo, we fell in love. And so she was basically bought from a rescue, brought up from Arkansas. She was found under an abandoned house with her mother and 6 siblings. Or she was one of 6. So they were able to get her and her 2 brothers out from under the house. They were able to get them out somehow. So they brought them up. I think a woman had her for about 2 weeks and took care of her with her siblings. And then she was brought from Arkansas. It was probably a 3-day trip. I mean, it was probably a traumatizing trip for her.
It's a drive.
Especially for a puppy. Yeah. So she came.
That's a lot.
Yeah, she came up, and we went to go pick her up, and the rest is history. It was just really difficult to find a puppy of the kind that we wanted. But we gave in when we saw that photo. She's gorgeous. And she's such a good dog.
Uh-huh. So tell us about her, what breed or what physical, because you said she's gorgeous. So explain her, describe her to us a little bit.
Sure. She's cream colored. She has some little bit of darker brown coloring on her back and then her ears. And I was told that her brothers are the same color of her ears, which is a little bit of a darker brown. We thought she was a lab mix just because she looked like a lab mix, and that was what we were told. But her brother had the DNA test done. So the owners, we're actually in contact with with the owner. So she gave us his results. Nice. And we were like, I mean, she's a mix, but the mix that she is to me is amazing. She's Staffordshire Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier. She's Chow Chow. Yeah. She's Siberian Husky.
Wow.
And she's White Swiss Shepherd. And then she's a big, large, a 37% in these other breed groups, either sporting, herding, mountain dogs, or guard.
What does she do that makes you laugh or that just you feel that is quite unique to her?
Well, see, here's the thing. We're first time dog owners, so we don't have anything to compare her to. So if it is unique, we don't know if it is. But
I love it. True. That's true.
everything she does to us is unique and funny because it's totally new. We're like, oh,
Oh,
okay, well, that's interesting. Um, she every day she makes us laugh at something. I mean, she makes the cutest faces. Although there are times where she's very statue-like and stoic, where she doesn't really show any affect. Some of the funny things she does is she kind of digs. Like if you put a towel down or a blanket, she'll dig at the towel. We just got her a new dog bed, so she started off by digging at it. I really don't know what she's digging for because it's not dirt.
they do that. Dogs do that. Yeah. It's like they're trying to make it their own and they're trying to, between the scent and trying to get it comfortable. And yeah, that's like a lot of dogs will circle 3 times before they lay down.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. We weren't really sure what it was. We're like, okay. She'll like, if I give her a new toy or a new, like a chew, we have these chews we give her, Himalayan chews. If I take it out of the package, she'll pick it up and like throw it around and like growl at it and then settle down and chew it. But she like throws it around like it's something that it's alive and she has to like play with it. And then, okay, now I'm going to chew it. I'm done growling.
I love it. It's like the prey drive, kind of like the
Yes.
pursuit and then she won and interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Cute. Love it.
She runs around the house quite a bit with what I've heard is called the zoomies. I looked it up and it's I guess dogs do it to get out energy. They do it after baths, which she does that a lot. And it's kind of like their back end is down. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. We all are like on the floor laughing when she's doing it. Yeah.
And I love that you guys are new dog owners because you said you've never had a dog in your childhood and your husband didn't either. And
never.
And what a great thing though, for you to take that on. I really give you a lot of credit.
Oh, thank you.
It's a lot of work, but good for you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
She sleeps in the craziest positions. We looked that up too to see, because I guess there is a thing that says how puppies and dogs sleep is kind of how they are feeling in your home, whether they're comfortable or not. So she's very comfortable according to her sleep positions.
I love it. Which means what? Can you describe it? Is she like on her back with her legs up in the air, or what kind of?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sprawled out. Let's put it that way. Very not ladylike. Oh yes. The training went very well. We're still working on training. I mean, she's still almost 5 months old. So it takes time. You don't want to bombard her with so many commands all at once. So we've been slowly introducing ones, but everything that we've taught her up until now, she's done great with. Any
words of encouragement for dog owners that are struggling with training, or are there other issues with their pups? Like, how do you hang in there? What would you recommend?
Sure. So when we first got her, we almost gave up. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very transparent with this because we had a rough time. We had a rough go at the beginning. And I think, it may have been helpful had we had a pet before, but we don't know. We don't have anything to compare it to. So we really can't say if every owner would experience this with a puppy. But we felt at times that we had absolutely no idea what we were doing. I mean, Google was our friend. We watched multiple training videos, spoke with you. So a lot of the training came from other people helping us because we really had no idea how to do anything. We also got advice from other dog owners. So I have a lot of family and friends who have dogs. So they were able to provide us with support in that way. A lot of people saying, don't give up. It pays off in the end, and we're not even in the end, but it's still, we're getting there. Like it's not as bad as it was when she was very, very young when we first got her. So, and I think a lot of it was too, she had to build up trust. She had to trust us, and, she had been through a lot. And so she was kind of building her trust with us and kind of testing the waters. So now that she's kind of past that point, she realizes, oh, this is my home. I'm comfortable here. Everything's okay. She's still a puppy. Don't get me wrong. She's hyper, but she's a little bit on the calmer side compared to what it was in the beginning. So I would say that overall, she's a great dog. We still have more work to do with the training. And I would say to puppy owners, if you do decide to get a puppy, I would recommend getting it when the kids are older. I would never want a little child around her because she jumps so much. And I read a lot of articles on, kids and dogs, and them saying, that these articles were saying that it's recommended that you have an older child and not like little toddlers running around or babies. It's really hard. I can't imagine having younger kids with her. It would be very, very difficult. And I would just say to puppy owners, I would say if you can deal with a couple bumps in the road, it pays off in the end and it's worth it. So just keep on going. Right. Don't give up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. Because you really have lived it. First of all, not having any other dogs in your past to compare to, and you had no training, let's face it, because who needs the training? Us humans. So you took on a lot, but we've talked and you've listened to other people. Like all of it comes together, but it's true. You need a network. It's like a village brings up a child. A village brings up a puppy. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. But the rewards that you'll reap very soon, I mean, you already are starting to, but when she gets a little bit older and, it's kind of like babies, they only know their world at first. And then they start to know there's another world and there's other people. And yeah, so good for you. And it's nice that you encourage people because there's so much work. Puppies are exhausting. And yeah, how do people have a toddler or a couple toddlers and a puppy? No way. They must just die at night, like collapse in bed.
Absolutely. I would never, I'm exhausted and I have older children. So I would never, and that's the prime reason why we never did it when the kids were young. And I think it's just a lot easier. It teaches them responsibility at this age too, especially for my son who's still a teenager. So he's taking care of another living being, besides himself. And it's not just me. It's, I have to worry about my dog now, make sure she's okay. So it's a great thing for older kids. Definitely.
That's true. And have you seen him step up to the plate for that? Do you feel like it has helped him with those kinds of, that behavior, that kind of thinking?
Yes, he has there's, of course, there's always going to be times where, we have to take over, but I have seen him step up and now he really knows what to do with her. He's better with her than I am sometimes. So he definitely has a connection with her. He's, he loves her and you can tell she loves him too.
And that is kind of his dog, right? It's a little bit more for him, the dog.
It is. I mean, it's a family dog, but the main goal was, for him. So, yeah.
Because did he bug you like for years to get a dog or like how long did he want to?
Yes.
Yeah. Did he really? He wanted a dog a long time?
Oh, yes. So what we did was, this was the culminating factor was we created a PowerPoint presentation and me and him presented it to the family to show everybody what the benefits were to owning a dog.
Oh my goodness, so interesting. What a different way to go about it. I love that.
Yeah
Neat. Very cool. And so what were the key points that he brought up, like that he had added to that? Do you remember kind of? I know it's a little while ago now.
I gotta think back. Let's see. He put the pros were I'll be responsible for taking care of her, it'll give me a responsibility. I'll have a friend, in the home. I mean, you could consider her a friend because she's always there, when you need her.
Right.
Kind of keeps him busy, keeps his mind off of things. If there's anything going on at school or anything negative, she kind of brings that positive light to things. And what else was it? I'm trying to think. That we had a long list of pros. We only had a few cons, and it was just like the hair in the house and the cost. Yes, it's cost.
Right.
We know it costs a lot of money to have a dog. We get that. But it was just the right time for us. And most families, I think, when you do adopt a dog or purchase one, you know it's the right time. You just know as a family that it, and there's been, like I said, years where he's asked for a dog and it just wasn't the right time for us. And everything just kind of came together at this time over the summer and it just worked out, but the majority of everybody agreed with adopting a dog. Everybody was kind of on board with it. So it was definitely a good move on our part.
Nice. And do you know what inspired him to want a dog so badly? Did his friend have a dog or did another family member have a dog that he was crazy about, or do you know where that came from?
Good question. I mean, my brother, growing up, like I said, we never had a dog, but my brother married my sister-in-law and she had 3 dogs and one passed away a couple years ago, but she still has 2. And so I think every time we go over there, he has such a connection with those dogs that he kind of wanted that, he said, I only have that when I go over there. And I kind of want it in my house. I want to have a pet, I don't know. I'm really not sure because a lot of his friends do have pets, but I don't necessarily know that was the driving force. I'm not sure. I think internally he just felt like I need something to love in my home besides my mom and my dad and my sister,
Right.
And,
Right.
we were going to start with another kind of
Nice.
pet, but we just decided, let's just go all in and get a puppy. Why start with a fish,
Right. I know. Yeah, you're right. You could have started more simple and see if he was responsible, but it's kind of neat. It's a statement about you as parents too, that you had enough faith in your son that you figured that he could take it on and do a good job. And it sounds like he's done very well. And that's wonderful because the lessons he's learning about empathy and, treating. I remember when I was a kid, I sprayed the poor dog with a hose, like kind of on high. And my brother pointed out to me, how would you like that? Cold water coming at you? I'm like, oh, and kids I was young. So, kids, they don't realize at first. And then it starts to click in that, you need to treat them nicely. And they, like you said, they're living beings. They have feelings. They have, sensitivity. I mean, yeah.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. He's able to put himself in her shoes or her paws, if you want to say, to see how she feels.
That's cute.
Or see how she feels in
love
different
that.
situations. Yeah. I mean, she may feel a certain way and he may have that connection with her where he can understand how she may feel in a certain situation or, and he can see when she's scared or he knows when, so it kind of gives him that different perspective on how to feel what someone else is feeling and whether it's an animal or it can even carry over into humans. So I think empathy is a great quality to have for others. So.
Yeah. We need it so much in this world. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
Everybody needs to tune up to that, tune into that whole thing. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share about little Bailey or anything else that just is on your heart to share with people?
I think we kind of covered everything. I mean, I guess I could say encourage, people again I would say go to rescues. I would never, I have nothing against breeders. I just know that there's so many dogs out there that need a home and you just hear so many heartbreaking stories of dogs being abandoned. And, if you could do it, and I would say definitely go to a rescue in your state, locally to try to find a pet, whether it's a cat or a dog. There's just so many out there looking for good homes. And, I think it's a great thing to do.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this and about your little girl. And she's adorable. People will need to go look at the website and see her. And thank you for taking that on because you guys are brave. A lot of people would have been too scared and you didn't know what you were doing, but good for you. You're resourceful. To ask people questions. There's no shame in it. If you see somebody with a well-behaved dog, there's nothing wrong with saying, how did you get your dog to do that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Please do me a big favor. Please be sure to subscribe. This is totally free to do. And also be sure to review us because we need the reviews so that other people find us. Now, if you're looking for a freebie, a yummy treat that will keep your dog busy for a while, I don't know if you remember hearing, but Miss Andrea mentioned Himalayan treats. Either click on the link in the show notes for dogsarethebestfriends.com or head to the website, go way down towards the bottom, about the bottom third, and it says contact us, ask us a question, put your name and your email in there. You'll be entered into the drawing, and I will draw it next Monday. Okay, so that's a heads up for that. And by the way, by putting your email in there, I will give you a heads up on the upcoming other giveaways that I have too. And it won't be a bunch of emails, I promise. Nobody likes that. So I won't do that to you. I wish you a great week. Hug that sweet pup. Talk to you soon, folks.